Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Agent Psycho. This episode, we're going to be going over the review on the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II. Almost slipped over my words there again. But yeah, this is the Mark II variant of the PSG-1 CAMO. Like I said previously in some of my other reviews, the PSG-1 family all have Mark II variants for all of their variants. So the PSG-1 family is technically pretty large if you take into consideration all the Mark II variants that exist for the PSG-1 family. So let's get started here. The PSG-1 CAMO Mark II features a 97 damage, 35 portability, 20 rate of fire, 90 accuracy, and 53 recoil. Now, there are three changes, if you guys couldn't catch it the first time, regarding the stats that are featured on the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II. First of all, the damage. Damage has been increased from 95 to 97. Now, for a semi-automatic sniper rifle, or technically fully automatic, this damage increase doesn't really matter too much. The PSG-1 was already strong enough. It's a very strong two-shot kill, basically no matter what. So no matter where you hit them, they should go down in two shots. If they don't, then you just consider that unluckiness on your part. But yeah. The fact that the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II gains a 2-point increase to damage, it's not the most beneficial, damage buff in the world. Like, unless it receives a damage buff to, like, so that it can deal, like, maybe 98, 99 damage, maybe it's worth it, because by that point, you're basically on the brink of, one-shotting people, even if they have a medium vest or not, Q, the DSR-1, that technically has a 99 damage instead of 100. But because the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II doesn't have that high of a damage yet, the 2-point damage boost, like I keep saying, means basically nothing. So you can just disregard that. The portability has been changed from 32 to 35, so it gains a 3-point increase overall. This is not like the PSG-1 Mark II, like the original Mark II variant of the original PSG-1 sniper rifle, where it gains a ridiculous 13-point increase in portability. This might be an error on Comra's Wiki's part, or it could just be like a numerical error on Nexon's part. Because I wouldn't be surprised if the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II actually ends up having 45 portability, and somehow it just became a typo so that it says 35 on Comra's Wiki or something like that. I don't know, because it's kind of strange to kind of nerf variants from tiers of variants. Like, why would the PSG-1 CAMO, or why would the PSG-1 Mark II have much higher portability than another Mark II variant that's technically supposed to be better? I don't know. Nexon's kind of weird like that. We might never know. But for now, just assume that the portability on the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II is indeed a 35, which means that it is a little bit lighter than it used to be, but it's nowhere near the portability that the PSG-1 Mark II has, which has a 45 portability, and that basically more or less gives you, makes you on par with like someone running around with a G36 or an AK. Think of it like that. The recoil has been reduced from 55 to 53, but this amount of recoil doesn't really solve too much. From what I've experienced with the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II, the reduction in recoil doesn't really help you out a whole lot. It still has pretty bad center speed for what its rate of fire can allow, and the recoil recovery, by that I mean where your scope lands after you take a shot, and how it the pattern that it takes to come back to the center again, that's still kind of wonky. So you still have the two major problems that I mentioned that the PSG-1 has, so which is bad center speed and bad recoil recovery. So even though it says that the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II has -2 recoil over the original PSG-1 CAMO and the original PSG-1 for that matter, it's in your best interest not to believe it in its entirety, because I still think it still has a few problems with recoil. So there you guys go. Other than that, though, the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II also has, just like the PSG-1 Mark II, it also has the same L96 style scope. Same zoom, same crosshair style, and everything. Just like the PSG-1 Mark II, it kind of gets rid of the half zoom scope that the other PSGs, the original PSG variants, start with, and it just replaces it with just a normal L96 scope. So, I mean, if you guys prefer the PSGs with with the normal style N96 style scopes, then it may be in your best interest to actually upgrade to Mark II, because if you're comfortable with that kind of scope, then I guarantee you'll do better with the Mark II variants of the PSG-1 family. So yeah, that'll do it for the PSG-1 CAMO Mark II review. Thank you guys very much for watching, and next time we should be the review on the PSG-1 mod, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, hopefully you guys look forward to that, and we will see you guys later.
Roger that. In possession. Round start.